Hi, do you want to know what these three circles have in common and how these three circles can allow you to build a strong company? Come with me. Let's go. Welcome. My name is Devi. In these videos on the Developer's Diary, I would like to tell you a story of how I built a company in a matter of 4 years that made around 6 million. But most of the work has been done unconsciously using these three circles. So let me guide you through this. If you're building a company today, a tech company, there is something called community. And the word community, when it comes out, it's often seen as a commodity or an afterthought. But here is the story. I built a company called Hackages. That's the t-shirt I'm wearing here. It's not the same version anymore. But I would like to tell you that story of where it started and how I used this three circle to actually build a company that maybe today doesn't exist, but the fundamental of what we did to get just there are still valid even in the AI era. Let's go back in 2016. I was thinking about building a company focused on education. I was building about a company built on top of a community. But the moment that the fact that Hackages is being registered as a company, which was September 2016, I had already done 2 years of work to build a community. Let me show you in drawing. The circle, the first one at the top here is going to start with me, Devi, right there. So this is Devi. And then on the left, you're going to have what I call a community. But that community here, you can think of it as developers, devs, right? What is the link between Devi and the community? The link is pretty simple. I built something called a gem. So you can link this way. So we're going to start me giving stuff to the community. So I built something called a gem. So what is a gem? A gem is basically a set of exercise based on test, meaning let's take a React application, this one. What we do, we break apart that application into a small chunk, which means features in a way. And behind each feature, we actually add tests. And then we give this application to people, meaning the community, for free. Actually, gems were completely free. And it wasn't even intentional to go beyond that to do anything with it. It was just, let's spend an evening coding with people for free. And we had companies offering us their space. But the first one we actually organized in 2014 that I organized was at Free University of Brussels. Like in one of their software engineering lab, they offer us a classroom and 10 people showed up that first evening. Jan, I'm looking at you. You were the one actually that connected us to the amazing people of the software engineering lab at University of Free of Brussels. But then the idea there is like, by fixing the test, these developers will actually learn the underlying technology. Back then, the things I was teaching was like, they were like famous, the JavaScript framework to build mobile application, React. We had a few things on Angular and so on and so forth. It was really JavaScript focused exercises. But then in that community, so as I mentioned at the beginning, we had about 10 people, but it went on, and some event over the years actually went up to 120 people in the room. That our session that we did at Booking.com, ServiceNow in Amsterdam, where they were able to offer us this giant space with screens everywhere, and then developer could sit there. They had chef and so on and so forth. It was just an amazing kind of experience right there. But all started with me here giving away this content, spending time with the community, and actually getting their trust. Now, I would like to show you how that trust goes the other way around. Now, by doing this free event, the community start actually contributing to this repo by providing exercises and so on and so forth. Some of them actually were coming from the community and saying, hey, my company, 3D Apps, for example, my company is willing to host you. We didn't do any move. The community themselves, they will say, I love what happened there. Could you come to our company and do that? It's all free. There were no financial transaction. I didn't get any money from any company to actually bring the community there. Whenever we were hosted somewhere, that didn't really matter in the sense like, to me, I just want a place where people can be fed, have a nice room to code, and mingle with each other. That's it. And the company that will host us got the benefit of having a community of like 30 to a company like Booking.com, 100 plus people showing up at an event, and they could pitch them their company, what the beautiful things they were doing. So I just shown you the bidirectional benefits between me and the community. But then at some point, what I just explained right now, it's basically between 2014 and 2016. Now, in 2016, I actually created the company called Hackages, which means that at this level, at this stage, I wasn't there anymore. It became Hackages. The company Hackages took the spot there. So as a company, you need to make money in a way because you need to pay your bills, you need to pay employees and so on and so forth. But I didn't go through to the company stage right away. I built a community, and within that community, something happened is the fact that my first hires as Hackages, as a consulting business, as a training for software engineering business, guess where they were coming from? We never put a job description online. That didn't happen. I was talking with companies and they were like, we need help with X, we need help with Angular, and so on and so forth. And what we did is basically saying, okay, I met amazing people in that group right here. I met amazing people there, and I know specifically who to talk to. So maybe you should watch a video of me when I explain why you should compensate developers to take technical test at your company. It's going to be right there. In that video, I explain actually this concept of like build a company that has a brand so that developers are willing to do this test even for free. That is actually something I did with Hackages. So what I did is by having that community there, it wasn't intentional, but it happened to be the way things went. I was able to code with these people, right? This session where basically something we were doing there is something called pair programming. We were doing pair programming, put people by two, give them the broken app and let them fix it. That was literally the way. And I pair programmed with some of them, and I saw some of them pair programming, mentoring, leading other people during the session. The day I needed people, what did I do? I picked up the phone and I said, Harold, this is Davey. Remember me? We met. Just like, yeah, that was a great event and so on and so forth. And I'm like, Harold, I would like to talk to you about the fact that you will join Hackages and help me build that bigger community, help our customer with their problems and so on and so forth. Harold is a real name. It was actually my first employee, one of the first person in the community that joined the company. And most of the people we hire after that, it literally came from the community or they brought their friends at the company. At some point, I start realizing that, okay, how do we get these leads from companies? We start getting quite a lot of leads from companies. And that is actually the circle there that I haven't mentioned there. So here, I'm going to label that as businesses or companies. So these are businesses. They have needs, they have problems. And one thing they have is these people work at this company. Yes, these companies there have software engineering, and these software engineers that actually come to this event. This is the link between these two circles, right? I'm gonna focus on the link between companies and Hackages in a few minutes, but I would like you to really pay attention to the fact that if you have developers there, they're also coming from companies out there. And when I hired them at Hackages, I didn't know about the companies they were working for. I only knew the fact that We code together. It was a great experience. That served for me as one interview already from the moment I call you. To me, I thought, okay, I already code with you. I already had an interview with you. Let's have a more culture fit interview. And then we even added a technical test on top of that, which was another pair programming session with them, trying to solve an internal problem we had at Hackages. It could be, oh, I'm working on this gem, right? The gems, they're this thing right there. And I would like to improve it doing XYZ. And then I will see them bringing their sharpness and solve it. Actually, that is the way I would recommend people to do the interviews, right? Now, going back to the leads. The thing with the leads was like the community member will say, okay, Davey, at my company, we're doing React. Last week, we were at your event and you guys did some things with React that I think we're not doing here. You see what this is going? It's basically them coming and tell us their problem, like firsthand. And they're asking for help to either train their people. So you see already where this is going. So they're going here. And the first thing they come with often was training. That was like the main thing. And then the second one was consulting. These were the two main things that companies right there will come and reach out to us, right? You can imagine, obviously, that we will go the other way around and help them with their problem, right? So that triangle there start with one main thing that you should really keep in mind is the fact that that entire group there represent the place where you gotta do the job. You gotta do that job right there and build that community if you are actually building a product or you're building a company that is community driven. Now, there is a side of that business that I don't really want to talk about because running a business is not the thing that I love the most. But at some point, there's stuff that I actually enjoy and sometimes some stuff that I was really proud of. The fact that we were able to go from our first year in business, we did about 700K in revenue. The second year, we did 1.1 million. The third year, we did about 1.4 to 5 and then 1.7, and then the next one we did about 1.3 million, right? But that was when the company was going down, and then the pandemic happened, fight with employees, and the company went down. We went from being a software engineering company to become a political company where people just play politics to get ahead, and the company died. But that's my lesson. That was all my fault, and I have to learn from that. I'm learning from it, but I just want to do a quick recap here for this video. I hope that you as a business owner, you as a recruiter, you as a software engineer understand this concept there, which is build a community around your business. It's gonna be worthwhile, really. And it won't show up right away. It's a year by year process. You gotta play the long game. Yes, companies like OpenAI, that are like new companies, they're building this huge community, but they're learning from the playbook of companies like Apple, Google, and there are smaller companies that are doing the same thing, and the results are amazing. The talent they bring on board is amazing. And the way you could do that is simply, if you are a company and you want to attract talent, start by offering your space for engineers to come and hang, build stuff, try stuff. Hackathon is a way to do that. Although I'm not a huge fan of hackathons, but that is one way to do that. Meetups, go on Meetup. Find all these software engineering or whatever industry and IT part that you want to cover and offer them your space. It's just gonna cost you the food and maybe having one or two people on staff helping with welcoming these people, giving them everything they need. But the cost is really low for what you will get from it over a period of let's say 5 years. Yeah, there are companies in Brussels, in Amsterdam, that's where I actually operate. I've been doing that for many years, and they built amazing company through that process. Yeah, it might not work for everyone depending on what you're doing, but I guarantee you that if you're genuine about this approach, the people coming from the community will be genuinely happy to work with you, to help you build your business. And you know what? This is the end. I don't have much to say here, but take care of yourself. I will see you on the Developer's Diary. Bye. Hi, Davey here. You see the video right there? We actually migrated a project from Jest to Vitess in terms of tests. Here is how we did it. We just replaced Jest by Vitess right there. And one of the main benefits about Vitess is the fact that you don't assume that variables are in the environment. You make sure that you declare them. That's why this is failing, because right now what you see is it says it doesn't find describe, it doesn't find it. Let's fix it. You go inside the addNumber.spec file, so that's basically the one we're opening right now, and we're going to import in that file explicitly two functions, describe and it, and that's it. And now there is also expect missing, and by now when we run the test it's working. That's it. If you want to see more of that, there is a link in the description how we did it, and don't forget to subscribe down here. Bye.